crazy how fast things can happen in the online space as well. Like 3 years, like your life can change completely. And you just imagine like another 3 years on top of that, it's compounding, right? But the main thing you can really take from this is like just to put one foot forward in front of the other. Like, you know, you're not going to know exactly what you're going to do. Like we kind of know now in like 5 years roughly, but it's going to change quite a lot, I assume.
And still we don't know. Like we sort of know, but
we don't really know. So all you can do is like, think of this analogy. You're driving a car in the mist, right? And your headlights can only see like 5 meters ahead. So if you look 100 meters ahead, you're going to probably wrap your car around a tree. So you don't want to look too far ahead. Just look like the next couple of steps and just put a foot forward in front of the other, and like the mist will start to evaporate a bit and you'll see, oh, there's a better path. Maybe I do this, maybe I do this. Maybe you go down that path and you're like, okay, that's maybe not the one, and then you go back. Like there's a cool analogy I heard. There's a lot of ways to get to the top of a mountain, right? Like, you know, there's a lot of paths to the top, and the top of the mountain is like success, right? There's a lot of paths. There's a million ways to make $1 million. It's like that kind of thing. So you should just like do stuff, and there's no real strategy, right? You can follow principles. That's why autobiographies are so important to read that, because then you can kind of link all of the 100 most successful entrepreneurs and see how they thought. And then you can follow those thinking patterns. But there's no real strategy. Like everyone at the end of the day has to figure it out for themselves.
Go listen to Founders Podcast. That's pretty good. So it's, what's his name again?
David Senra.
David Senra. He basically, his life purpose is to read all these autobiographies of great founders, and then he just makes an episode per book, which is obviously, you know, amazing. So go ahead and have a look at that. And I think a big thing is, right, is, you know, a lot of people actually wrote an essay about this. You guys could probably subscribe to the newsletter down below somewhere. And I wrote about, you know, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on self-belief and whatever. But I think faith is something that's even more important, because that is something that's not rooted in oneself, right? It's like taking action, like self-confidence or self-belief says essentially like, I can do this because I've done it before. But faith comes down to, I can do this even though I've never done it before, right? Or at least I believe so. I have faith that I can do that. And especially if you're taking action in like a domain, like for example, Andrew jumping on a call with Iman, like he's never done that before. But he had faith in himself, or not even necessarily in himself, just something greater, that this is going to work, right? And I think that's very important. It's like you need to learn the skill, whatever you might call it, is you need to learn how to be able to take the risk, to back yourself, that whatever you are doing, it's going to work out.
I got a perfect example to illustrate this point. So when I applied for that job, right, like when I mentioned, we can continue with that arc basically. So I applied for the job. Yes, so I sent out, like filled out the document, right? And obviously I had to wait for a response. I didn't get a response right away. It took like, I think 3-4 days, whatever, because they had a lot of applications, right? The funny thing is, right when I applied for that job, I dropped out the next night, okay, out of university, I dropped out. And then the following night, I got the job. So I think if I didn't drop out, I might not have gotten that job, because what does me dropping out signal to the universe? It's like, oh, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I even told my parents when I applied, I'm getting this job. And I had literally no evidence. I get no reply. I just applied, and there's thousands of applications, and I'm just like, of course I'm going to get this. I dropped out, and then the next morning I got a message or email, yo, I liked your application, let's hop on a call. So if you enjoyed this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and you know both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, you know, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, you know, to scaling your business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume. So yeah,
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. Maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
That's why all these successful people are so weird, right? Because just think about how delusional you need to be to do something like that, right? It's like all these people that I meet also, it's like, they so like it's weird people, right? But like I'm weird, right?
No, we're
weird.
It's super weird.
You also like, how do you go and tell your parents, yo, I just dropped out of university. I know I'm going to get this job. Yet you got no experience in that domain. You don't even know if they're legit, right? Like it's just like the social media guy, and you haven't got any feedback, right? Like that's a delusional thing to do. It might be like ignorant faith. It might, whatever you want to call it. Like that's the type of thing that it takes to do and pursue this. And like when I started out in this industry, I always knew like I could do something and be great at something if I knew what that thing was. And if I could just, submit myself to one thing, I know I can force success in any domain, right? I just wanted to get something that I'm passionate about. And I always wondered, like, how would that feel? What is that thing? And I can promise you, there's no one way, like Andre said. It's literally putting one step forward, setting a goal, and while you proceed to that goal, even if the worst possible outcome is, at least you know what you don't want now. And on your way towards that goal, there will be new opportunities that arise that you will set new goals towards and you can then work towards, right? But part of achieving any goal is there's a lack, right? Is where you are right now and where you want to be. And to work through that lack, or essentially the friction, is you need to believe it's possible to achieve it before taking action. Like, imagine going to the gym. Like, that's why gym is such a beautiful analogy and beautiful thing. It's because if you need to start hitting the gym, right, there's a lot of friction. You're small, skinny, you look terrible, right? Or especially compared to the other people in the gym.
I still remember my first day in the gym.
Exactly. And so working through that, there's something you learn there, which means is taking action, believing that you will look better one day or later. It takes long to see results. Okay, you have the newbie gains, it's faster, I guess, but it still takes time, right? So you were taking action without seeing any results, believing that you're going to look better down the line. So you are unconsciously learning that by tapping into, faith or believing in yourself and taking action, working through the friction, you can change your life.
I remember my first day in the gym, right? I think it was 7 March. I forget the year. I remember the date, but I forget the year because the years kind of blend into each other. But it's been 7 years now, right? And you know that chest press machine where you lie down and you stack the weights on top of like this arms? Like you lie down and where you stack like the 20 kilograms and then underneath is like the 20 kilogram plates where you take off and you put on top. I was taking the plates from the bottom. And I was like, why is this not getting heavier? I still remember that to this day.
Was this that Virgin Active Red?
Yeah. So hopefully you guys, maybe we can add a picture of like the machine, right? It's like you lay down and like you put plates on top of it and then you can kind of bench it, right? I was taking the plates from the bottom where like you stack the plates or you rack it. And I was like, why is that thing now getting heavier? And I just left the machine. I'm like, this doesn't work. It's my first day. Okay, so back to when we obviously started making some money online. So when that first paycheck hit, I didn't really do much. Actually, like my first or second paycheck, right? I still got the screenshot of the first one. Let me see if I can actually get it. But my second one, I actually invested into mentorship instantly. So Iman had a course at the time, which was called Agency Navigator, and I just bought that.
I also bought that.
Yeah, and that was like my second paycheck, and that helped a ton. Like that just opened up the
And you know what's
doors.
Crazy? Every single person, or like so many, like not everyone, but like so many other people that we work with right now.
This is my first payment, my first online payment. Yeah, does that show? Look at the audio, all right, as well. $740. I thought,
but
we made it, man. We made it.
And like so many of the people we spoke with, all was in that course. So it's irrelevant to the course. It comes down to the principle. Every single person that's on the level that we aspire to be and or similar to ours, invest in mentorship and went through that. And it's not because that was necessarily great. I don't think it was, but it was one of the more popular ones. So just meaning that anyone that invested in mentorship in that time probably went through that. So that just means the principle stands. If you want to get to a high level or where we are right now, education is key. Knowledge is extremely valuable and mentorship is a non-negotiable. And because I went through that just after Andre went through it. And it's actually funny because you can go back and have a look at your intro messages. Yeah. Fuck, I don't even think I want to like see mine, but
I don't have mine.
Let me see if I can.
I don't have mine. I just locked in.
No, you didn't even because like you obviously introduce yourself, right? So I remember the emotions of that person, right? It was like 2 years ago. But I remember vividly, this guy's so hopeful. I'm like, I'm Quinter from South Africa. Can't wait to lock in with you guys. Hit me up. Let's make this happen. Send a selfie, like just after the gym. And and then one of my friends who was also in that, just because we actually wanted to do some outreach. I don't even know if we can mention that, but Anyways, and one of our setters actually sent me my photo, and that was quite a funny experience. But yeah, anyways.
I didn't have one. I just I bought in and locked in. Like,
you don't want to speak to anyone.
Monk mode. Let's make this shit happen. let's get rich. So yeah, and the thing is, like, that didn't really work. Like, I didn't sign a single client from that. Like, I started a gym agency. I did cold calls for 4 to 5 hours a day, booked like 15 meetings, didn't close a single client. And that was over like 3-4 months. So people join programs and then they're like, yo, where's my clients? It's like, yeah, I don't think you realize it's going to take, like, even me, who I would say I'm very hardworking and, you know, I've got a lot of the traits that's required, right? It even took me like 12 months to really, like 6 to 12 months to sign my first client. And then I, saved up some money. Actually, I don't know if fired was the right word. They just, like, I wasn't like, didn't do a bad job. It's just like, they just, what's the word? Let go of some people, okay? Well, okay, I was fired.
I was coping.
Yeah, I was a cope. I was fired there and I lost that job. I'm like, yeah, my life's over. And then I joined another influencer, basically helped him with social media marketing, and then saved up some money, some more. And then I bought a big program, which was $10,000, okay? And at the time, I did not have the money for that. So that's close to 200,000 Rand. And I only had 32,000 Rand in my bank account, okay? So how much is that? 7 times more than what was in my savings. I'm like, and he mentioned the price. He's actually a good friend of ours now. He closed me in the program. It's 7 times more than my savings.
He's in our program.
He's now in our program. So yeah, 7 times more. And I'm like, yo, let's do it. So people need to realize this. Like, even now, I mentioned this in the vlog, but like, I'm taking all of my money that I have right now and investing it into skills. All of it. You know, like Iman is doing a retreat in December here in Stellenbosch, actually. Going to be massive. I just have to be there. It's just no questions asked. Doesn't matter. I will sell my car. I don't even care. You need to get to that level. Not necessarily do it, but be at the point where you are willing to do it. And do it. Okay, like, you need to be able to risk it all. Yeah. Like, it's in that poem.
I was about to mention the poem.
You need to be able to risk it all and lose and don't care and go again.
Yeah.
You need to be at that level. Truly.
Yeah.